Hi everybody. This is my introductory video to my new channel that I just can't get out of my mind that I feel inspired to do. And I'm introducing my new channel and myself as is. It's kind of come as you are. I have a neuroimmune metabolic / brain inflammation illness virally begun called ME/CFS, Myalgic Encephalomyelitis / chronic fatigue syndrome. Sometimes it's called ME, sometimes it's called CFS, sometimes it's called both. The reason I don't call it CFS and I don't call it chronic fatigue syndrome is because chronic fatigue syndrome is a name that it was given. It's a very serious multi-symptom, multi-system, disabling condition. Was given in 1986 when there was a major outbreak in the Lake Tahoe, California area. And at that time, the CDC, the U.S. government, and the mainstream media they ended up calling it chronic fatigue syndrome, aka yuppie flu, I think. No, was it yuppie flu? I can't remember. Anyway, that was in 1986. And fast forward to today, there are millions and millions and millions and millions of people all over the world with this condition. And we still don't get the kind of attention that we need, either from researchers or clinicians. Most doctors don't know anything about this disease. And, that's why we have a hashtag. People with ME/CFS have a hashtag. It goes hashtag millions missing. Why? Because when ME/CFS is moderate, and especially when it's severe, we go missing from our lives. I've had this illness since January 2017 when I contracted a really, the mother of all upper respiratory viruses, which also had a very high fever, vacationing in Puerto Vallarta. And it was mild at first, and gradually over the next few years, for a bunch of long, boring reasons I may go into in another video, it went from mild to moderate to severe. And severe, I was at severe in the beginning of 2021. And what that meant was I was bedbound. I was housebound, of course. I couldn't go out. I was bedbound. I could get up to go to the bathroom. I could get up, by myself to go put a microwave, organic, vegan, I wasn't vegan, but this was the best food I could find, a microwave meal in the microwave and take it back to bed to eat. That's about it. It's not an exaggeration. And I had been an absolute Energizer bunny. I'm 72 now. Absolute Energizer bunny my entire life, which I will also go into maybe another time. Avid hiker, athlete, accomplishment oriented. I did a PhD at UC Berkeley in my 40s as a single parent, so that can give you and managed a rental unit in my home. So, just unstoppable until ME/CFS stopped me. And I'm not alone. This is, I am one of many. And the other statistic about this illness is there's a whole bunch of us that aren't even diagnosed. Uh, it's getting a little bit better because of long COVID. So those of you who are not at the MECFS part of the folks that I'm talking to, but the carnivore prime, proper human diet folks, people don't know about this illness. Doctors don't know about it, most of them, but long COVID is getting us some attention. But there's not getting funding for studies just for MECFS. There's a lot of funding for studies on long COVID, and some of them are compared to MECFS. But I'm here to tell you that MECFS is the condition that people suffering from long COVID better pray to whomever is their God that they don't end up with. That's the difference. You end up with MECFS. In terms of the medical establishment, there's no cure. And a bunch of us, there's a part of this population who just are kind of waiting for there to be a cure. And then there's a part of the population that we refer to ourselves as MECFS warriors. And we are taking the bull by the horns and probably spending way too much money on recovery programs and other stuff like that that work for a while and then don't work, was what part of what happened to me. But we're actively, when we can, making changes to our lives in a number of ways, one of which is there should be nutrition, to see if we can get better. Anyways, so from that perspective, I'm also, I was a former athlete, and I've been nutrition, health, and fitness junkie most of my adult life. So I'm 72 now. And so, of course, my approach to this has been partly, well, how can I heal my body by giving her the nutrition that she needs? And ultimately, I ended up finding Dr. Berry, which those of you on the carnivore, proper human diet, ketovore end of things, you all know him. Those of you who are watching this who are MECFS warriors, please please look him up on YouTube, because he is, he's the bee's knees. He is the real deal, and he's an excellent person to introduce you to these nutritional concepts if you're interested. But anyway, so I found Dr. Berry, and I discovered that, I had been, I'm not going to go into all those details, but I ended up doing a reasonable proximity of the proper human diet when I was following him in 2021 and late 2021. But I'm a carb addict as well. I'm an alcohol addict. I've been sober for almost 6 years now. Sugar and carbs, much harder to beat. That took me 7 years of trying and failing and learning. Sugar and carbs, I'm still working on that. So basically, I feel inspired to do this channel for my MECFS warrior cohort out there who may not know about the healing possibilities associated with ketogenic down through carnivore diets. And also for my carnivore proper human diet folks, mainly because I want to raise consciousness in this community, and especially with all these amazing doctors who have discovered and are living in their own lives and are teaching a carnivore or ketovore, or just call it, from here on out, I'm going to call it proper human diet, because I am not going to be totally strict about anything, because I don't have the capacity. But anyway, the one thing that's lacking in those beautiful people is they don't have a clue. They're not talking to us. They're not talking to people with ME/CFS. And some of them think they are because some of them think chronic fatigue syndrome is chronic fatigue or post-viral chronic fatigue. And carnivore and ketovore are like demonstrably brilliant at handling that. People anecdotally just say, yeah, I was always tired. I don't know why. I started carnivore and blam, my energy came back. Same thing with brain fog. To you beautiful, if any of you carnivore influencers or doctors out there ever see this, brain fog for someone with ME/CFS is not the same thing as brain fog. How you guys think about it. ME/CFS involves brain inflammation, neurological dysfunction. There's something that goes wrong in the Krebs cycle of the cell that researchers still haven't quite figured out. So there's major mitochondrial dysfunction. So when we expend energy, we don't get any energy back on a cellular level, and we have what is known in our world as PEM, post-exertional malaise, which doesn't mean you overdo it, you get tired, and the next day you feel better. What it means is you overdo it, you crash, and you have all of the symptoms that if you got this from a virus, that virus entailed. So you end up sick for weeks, sometimes months. Sometimes it can push you from, say you're moderate, it can push you to severe. It's that radical. So it's not just being tired and eating. I don't know anybody, I've never heard of anybody who simply changed their diet and got over this because it's not just fatigue. So anyway, I'm obviously on a mission to raise awareness about this and to heal my own body and to enable my ME/CFS buddies out there who might be interested to walk along this path with me and learn with me and from me. It's N of 1, N equals 1, this experiment, but I am going for the gold on this, and I'm not messing around anymore. And so, yeah, so that's what I'm doing, and I'm just going to do whatever I have the energy to do. I'm not going to make it a big high production deal. It's just going to be me, and you can join me or not and see, kind of see if it's at all useful. But I'm here to serve, and I think this is one of the ways I can do it. So big love to y'all, and I'll post again soon.